A prevalent and common misconception that I see playing out on this planet is the idea that by leaning more into a world of unity, that one will begin to lose their own sovereignty or individuality. And this is a lie. Because so many beings on this plane are still operating out of fragmented states of fear and hatred, because the mind has been seized and gripped by these things, as in essence, has forgotten itself. You fail to see that this is simply not true. It seems real to you because it's what you have chosen, or it has been what another being has chosen, and unknowingly we may have come into the world and accepted it for ourselves. But it is quite obvious that if you can turn left, at some point you have to realize there are other options. You can turn right, you can go straight, you can go backwards, you can go at an angle. There is more than one way to live. And when you truly accept your true individuality and sovereignty, you realize that there is nothing that another being could even take away from you. So there was no need for the fear or the competition. It makes a lot less sense to be fragmented, to look at another being and to feel threatened by their existence, to feel threatened by what they're doing. If it's something that relates to your field of work or to your career or to your art, you realize that by being the fullness of your being, you don't have the time or the energy to look at another, to judge, to worry about what they're doing. And because you're so full, you start to realize how natural and easy it is for you to give, because you finally recognize and realize that you have. You don't have to compete where you fit in. You're no longer struggling, you're no longer straining. You're actually loving yourself. And that love radiates out naturally. But because so many of us have elected to live in a world where you must eat the other animal, so to speak, in order to have your meal, we bind ourselves to that. Whatever you think and feel is real to you is real to you. Even if everything I'm saying seems like an impossibility, because you've lived entrenched in the exact way of living I've talked about, you have to ask yourself, is that going to be your eternity? At some point, you have to make an internal decision that you want a different life, bar none. No ifs, ands, or buts. There is a saying on this planet, when there is a will, there is a way. I'm sure there's a time in your life where you really, really wanted something and you made it happen. But when it's time to change your life, or to change the way things are, the first thing we do is either think this is going to be too hard, so why even try? Or you pray and hope that someone else will do it. Whatever you are being and accepting now is what you are being and accepting forever. You hear it all the time, that now is all you have. If you think that competition is the only way to survive, so be it. But do not complain when you get the effects of competition. But if you begin to think and feel that there is a different way, a way where I can thrive and all the beings around me can thrive, who else is going to do it? Aren't you the same one competing? Why can't you be the same one not competing and still thriving? And you have to think. The individual mind hears this and thinks there's no way this can work. But you're not an individual mind. To each person that's listening to this, if 5 of you are sitting in a room listening to this and you all looked at each other in the eye and said yes, in essence, you have become one mind. You are now moving on one accord. There's no conflict, there's no resistance. It's the same thing. Just because it's billions and billions of beings, you may think it's impossible. But all it takes is one. And then it just takes that one to have another one agree with it. It's the same way that we have ended up where we are now. Through the sharing of thoughts, through the sharing of ideas and agreement. So simply disagree and form new agreements. With the mind you have, a new idea, and then you simply find another mind to share that idea with. And then come into agreement. Why would you not want to come into agreement about the idea that you can have and be full, and I can have and be full? Nobody had to starve. Of course, there are going to be thoughts and feelings of distrust, doubt. I believe in it, but what if the other person takes advantage of me? At some point, there will be more of us than those ideas. And those ideas will literally starve themselves out as a product of their own being. And we will not weep for them. For they chose. It's decision. Those who choose to live by those laws reap what they sow. But we can choose to live by the laws and ideas of unity, of coming together, not to lose your individuality, to give up on your dreams, your goals, your desires, but to realize that they don't have to push against another. They don't have to find resistance in the world. You can be. Don't you think the whole point of life having so many unique expressions is for them to play a harmonic song? Infinite intelligence, we say, and then we run around in conflict 24/7. There's nothing intelligent about that. The intelligent thing to do would be to take a step back and to admit that we have it wrong. and to make a different choice.